Welcome to this series where we are playing the War and Industry update for Reforged Eden. In the last part, we started working on the Epsilon missions, and what I'd like to do in this part is actually finish those off, simply because I really feel the need to move on and get a few things done, because there's so much to see in the galaxy now that you could probably put over 100 hours into a single game just to check out all the various features. And I do want to make progress because I still do have some concerns about the upcoming update and whether it may break the save game. Or at the very least, what we may have is a period where I won't be able to play until we actually get the compatibility update. So that's what I want to do in this part. But before that, I want to say a big thank you for your comments and feedback. As usual, you guys give me a lot to think about. Now, I did get some suggestions about a hover tank, and what I would say, guys, if you've got any good recommendations for a cheap and cheerful hover tank, feel free to put it in the video description, because I'm not sure. I mean, I'm assuming based on what you were saying is that we'd need a harvester. Actually, let's just see, get there. Having a quick look. We've got Sponge Miner, but I don't think he's got a harvester on the front. We've got a Scarab here, which has got a harvester on the front. So that could be quite useful to have this, just to go and harvest trees. Because I must admit, I wouldn't, and at this point in the game, I wouldn't actually be that inclined to actually have a hover miner. I'm quite happy with the SV miner. So maybe the Scarab could be quite a useful little ship to put together. Looks like it's actually got a turret on the top as well. It's only a level 5, but the thing is we'd have to do is we need small thruster detector, small hover engine, harvester module. So to do that, we would need the harvester module. Well, we'd have to unlock that. It's the actual attachment on the front, isn't it? It would be that. Small hover engine, we'd need that. And I've forgotten what the other bit is. And the detector, because of course the game says that the detector has to be different. So we could come down and just unlock that. What that means is that we could, if I could come to the factory, I could add stuff into this. Actually, it's only copper ingots and carbon substrate, isn't it? So let me just see. I mean, it's not like we've got a shortage of stuff. So let me just see. We got, what was it? Copper, wasn't it? What's this drum? Well, just do this. Carbon substrate. Got that in there. Let's do this, because this is what you guys were saying, is that you do it as a backup, so that just goes up 158, 59. Got that in there. What you were saying is you just spawn it in, do the job, and then basically deconstruct it and recycle it again. So we're just going to create that just for completeness thing. Now, the other thing I want to talk about before we get started is I've had a couple of requests about the alarm turret that I actually use on the SV. So I thought I'd just show you that as well. Now, the alarm turret is, I think as far as I know, it can be built by any constructor. And well, it looks like it's a large constructor, but it can basically be built here. You can see it could be fitted to a capital vessel, a small vessel, and a hover vessel. Now, one thing I will draw your attention to if you want to use this, it says down the bottom of the description, it says, use sparingly as audio from multiple alarms can overlap, recommended to assign to a shortcut on the control panel for easy toggling. Yeah, so you don't want to go over the top with those. And personally, I wouldn't put one on a capital vessel because you're relatively safe inside. I just find it useful on the SV for when you're like manually mining or operating, because you get that little bit of a warning, and it is configurable as well. So maybe when we take out the SV, I'll show you how the configurable options going to be worked on. Now, now what I'm going to do is leave the planet we came to, which is we're on, I've forgotten what it is, Epsilon 5, and you can see I went out and explored. There's not much on this planet. I did get the pile of trees that I was talking about there, so we got 288 logs, which is good. It's enough to keep me going until I need some more anyway. And what we're going to do is go up and get up into space. Now, what I want to do is I've deliberately skipped Epsilon 4 because that's actually a dead planet. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Epsilon 8, then the asteroid field, because what I want to do is finish up back on Epsilon 4 so that I can then spend time after I finish the video looting down the unfinished escape rocket again. So we're just going to get up into space, just ping out and make sure there's nobody around. So our first step's going to be Epsilon 8, which is right in the center there, so it's going to be a little bit tricky to get to. Is it? No, it's not there. Of course, we got the Dread Planet and Purgatory, and I think out there we got Roguery. Not Roguery, Rogue, like that. Now, these are the three very hard starts on the in Reforged Eden. I think if I'm correct, Dread is the Dead Planet start. So if you start on the you start on the one where you actually got a dead planet, that's the planet you would start on is Dread. And that's got an unfinished escape rocket on, but it's a pretty big planet. Then you've got Purgatory. Now, if I remember correctly, Purgatory is the one with the cryo start. So you start in a cryo facility, and then you've got, once you leave it, you can't get back in again. Then you've got to wander around the planet, look, gathering the resources to get off. I think is it Purgatory where the actual template is blocked when you first, if you start on Purgatory. So you've actually got to manually build the ship. Now Rogue JU, wherever it is over here, J 5565 is actually the one where you start inside of a ship, and it's literally combat from the get-go. I must admit I've fiddled around with it, but I would never make a series on it for two reasons. One, the slow start is incredibly slow, and two, it's so blooming dark. I mean, most of the time you're running around in the dark. And then, of course, there's the ultra hard start, which is the equivalent of Rogue, which I don't think is in this system. I can't remember what it is, what it's actually called now. There's an ultra hard start where you're actually, not only are you starting on a ship and you've got to fight your way out, it's totally dark. And again, it's not something I would do a series on, simply because that there's Epsilon 8 over there. It's simply because it's, well, from a viewing perspective, you can't see anything because you are quite literally walking around in the dark with a torch. Anyway, so we're going to go for Epsilon 8 first. I mean, what I will say about those hard start planets, they're all similar to a dead star or a dead planet. The resources on them are very limited. And as I say, the downside with making a YouTube video series on them is they've just got an incredibly slow start. And as I've already demonstrating in this series, that there's so much to see in the galaxy that if I spent 20 or 30 videos just getting off the initial planet, we'd be probably doing the series for about a year. Anyway, so what we're going to do is head for Epsilon 8. What we got in this system, actually, just iron, silicon, pentaxid. I wouldn't mind some more pentaxid. Is there any hostiles here? We've got a guy's shipyard. Shipyards are bad news. You don't want to go anywhere near those, especially in a lightly armed CV like this. They got some fairly heavy weapons on it, so we certainly don't want to go close to that. There's also looks like there's actually a Polaris trading station as well, around here somewhere. It's not showing up. It could be down on the planet somewhere. Yeah, we're just going to head for Epsilon 8 and see what's actually there. So here we are. We're just breaking through the surface. It's like this is good for Sathium. We'll go for a short range scan. Right, we've got some heat signatures over there. Quite interested in the heat signatures because they could be capital vessels. Looks like we've got radioactive capability on here, so we're going to have to be a bit careful. That's a broken... Oh, we got a submerged tank there. That could be... We could go and do the submerged tank. There's not going to be any high-level loot in there, but there'll be 3 kind of reasonable containers there. Okay, maybe not. We'll come back. The loot's good, but it's not that good. Let's go long range and see what we got here. There's some signatures over there. I think I'll be more interested in what's over there. Safe and deposit. Right, let's see what we've got here. I mean, how much Sathium have I got? I don't have a lot of Sathium. I suppose I could stop and mine. Oh, we've got an unknown artifact. Okay, I certainly want to take down a couple of these because they're good for loot. And if you've got a SV with rocket launchers on, it's relatively straightforward. Looks like we got... Yeah, so looks like we got 2 together here. Oh well, we're certainly going to pay a visit to them. Going to need to make some ammunition, actually, come to think of it. Let me just see... 10, 20, 30, 40. About 40 would do. From the... Right, we're get close enough for the... Of course, we're going to be in radioactive fog, so... This is a bit of a free loot fest, so... Too good to pass up. And of course, we're going to land in the... Oops, don't really like to land on a fairly level patch of ground. Thrusters off. SV is probably the best thing to... What is the radiation on this planet? Oops. It's the radiation... 14, wow. Okay, we're going to have to be... I don't think I've got a radiation boost. I've got an EVA boost. I don't really want to... Don't think we really need that just at the moment. Put the multi-boost on, that'll give me 10. Right, we're going to have to work from inside the ship. So, let's get here. And thrusters on. And just to show you the devices, I think the alarm... This is the alarm sentry here. And you can see it's configurable and you can switch it off. So again, picking up on the actual comment is that if you want to use multiple and say like you've got several SVs or an HV, even on the capital vessel, you can switch them off if you want them. But what I would suggest is that you don't put it on prey, you just use it for the main protection. Otherwise it would be going off every couple of seconds. Let's do. Let's see what we can get out of here. I think just trying to find a gap. I think if we aim for about there, just about there, it's going to blast our way through. It'll take a little while to get through. So I'll see once I actually on the point of blowing up the core.
Warning, dread detected.
I think that was.
Warning, dread detected.
I think that was the big one. Just make sure. Get in close. On top. And yep. I mean, there is some fuel in there, but a little bit. But to get the fuel, you've got to be a little bit careful. 856. Well, we'll take that. Right, what would
Warning, dread detected.
do is go up to just level with this level here. Oops. This is the radiation work. Just stop in here. And of course we're going to need to connect up the harvester. Do a little bunny hop. Oops, no, didn't work that time. Oh, come on, Gabe. That's better. And now one thing I will say about these, what they call them, unknown artifacts is hardened steel blocks. They are a good source of those. So it's certainly worth picking in here. But at the moment, I'm really more interested in titanium plates. The reason for that is that the titanium plates, like you say, I need the titanium plates to upgrade the blocks on my existing CV. I suppose I could pick up some hardened blocks for building purposes, but to do that I'd need to core it. Got some hacking software. It's pretty good. Flamethrower. Pick that up. Drop that off. We got one hardened steel block. I mean, to be honest, I'm at a kind of a point in the game where if I had a crying need for blocks, I could just quite easily make them myself with the titanium plates. So the titanium plates are probably more important. And we've got some copper, silicon. The force fields we could probably drop into the what we call it, into the salvage block. Then again, a couple of force fields won't be. So you can see, just scrapping them down, we'll get some steel plates and other bits and pieces. Let's see what we got here. It's a Cosium. We got some more small optronics bridges, and we got a transportation booster. It's quite useful. Got another multi-boost. Well, probably put all that in there. We got a LS-38 advanced laser pistol. Looks pretty good. I'm not sure if I've seen one of those before. Reload. Where's the EV? There it is. Just go down and we'll just do a bit of an unload first before we move on. So, and also we'll pick up some ammunition. I managed to dock to the ship. How did... I've managed to dock to the ship. I don't want to dock to the ship. So I actually managed to hook on just on the edge of the ship there. That's pretty crazy. Capital vessel. We can offload that. Titanium plates, titanium rods, estrum. Everything else is general junk. I can hear somebody. I think I will put salvage out these. Don't really need them. I think I've got enough advanced multi-tool, advanced laser. Laser cannon can go in. Yeah, that gives me 6 of those, 8 of those. Some blocks and high value goods. Put that in there. We got some hacking software. Didn't realise I had that many thingies in here. And then these can just go in weapons. And this can go into main storage. So my fuel capacity is building up quite nicely.
Warning, threat detected.
Yes, thank you. Right. Gonna come over and so oops, I did pick up the ammunition. I think we've got whoops. I didn't empty the bit of a fail there, sorry about that. I think we got more than enough ammunition to take down this one. So we should be okay. Go in there. Just fire, just aim just below the diagonal there. And away we go again. Yeah, this one was a little bit. I was a little bit messy with this one. I think I've destroyed the fuel cell as well. Yeah, I wasn't as clean and tidy as I was before. Okay, so we're just gonna get back up here. Again, same as last time. We just get in, protect ourselves from the radiation. Bunny hop to get the F5. It's the first container. We got a bit of Neo, some titanium rods, nothing special. Take that. And then where's the third one? There's the third one. Okay, we're gonna have to up to there. Down, up through the floor. Got some gold bars and some more hacking software. That's pretty useful. Gonna need to find somewhere to hack. Got some more electronics bridges, a little bit of cash, another laser cannon. Wouldn't say that was excessively good quality loot, but I'll take it.
Warning, threat detected.
Yeah. What is... Why am I getting the threat? Let's see what the threat actually is. Got to be almost below us. Can't see really. We can't see because... Okay. Right, scan. There's our CB. Yeah, line up on our docking station. Probably need to go in a little bit further. Or docked. Main thrusters. Have to sit inside. Put everything in this one first. Turn off that. CB. I can put the neodymium. That. Okay, so we've the blueprints finished. So we've now got a hover tank that we can go out and have fun with. We've got 8 small optronics bridges. High value goods. Put that in there. Actually got a radiation shield. That I would like to put that in my what we call it, in the armor locker. Sorry, brain faded a little bit there. Don't really need a cargo box so you can kind of go away. You might as well keep the, I know it's only one block, but oops, I forgot to put the hacking software in there. Main storage, put that in there. I can go in there. And all the rest can go in weapons. And that can go into player. And we'll just go and very quickly do that. And whoops, seeing we're operating on this planet. We're put that on. How much of that? That still only gives us a radiation protection of 16, but it's better than before. Right, thrusters on. I mean, I'm going to have one more ping out and see some more structures over here. See what we've got over here. Got an unknown helix. Again, that's good for a very, very quick win. I don't want to spend too long on this planet because it is fairly big. Well, I suppose in some ways it's a contradiction in terms, and this is something that relates to making YouTube videos. Now, if I wasn't making a YouTube video, this is just a personal game that I was playing, I would probably spend 2-3 hours, probably explore the whole planet, try and get as many of these unknown helix and artifacts picked up, because they are a good source of loot. But of course, that is something that can get quite boring from the perspective of, say, you guys watching videos. If I spend the whole video just wandering around picking these things up. So what I'll do is I'll just do the unknown helix because it's a quick win. We'll check out some of those other ones, but I don't want to spend too long doing this, doing the same thing over and over and over again. It's something, I mean, it's always a dilemma, especially in survival type games, that you've got to try and strike that balance between what is kind of interesting to watch and what you could call the grind of the game. And we only need the gats for this one. We'll just come in here. There we are. Again, it's a very quick win. So if you destroy it, you don't even have to jump onto the framework. You can just go there, pick up that. Okay, we're gonna have to do it in 2 bits. Add a bit more junk in there than I thought. Just put that in there. I mean, again, the loot isn't particularly that high level. Let me just see if I... No, the other artifacts are, looks like they're a fair distance away, so there's the SV. Right, so we'll just dock back with the CV again. Over here. Okay, we've got a dock. Okay, just very quickly, what I will do is I'll just dump off the kind of heavy stuff there. Well, actually, how many? I've got 8 force shields already, so we'll just deconstruct it or salvage it, whatever you want to call it. Actually, it is deconstruct, isn't it? So come there. I think what we'll do is we'll just ping out a little bit and see what those other heat signatures actually are. So go for range. Right, there's two more over here where one's a known unknown helix. We got an unknown helix there, which probably we won't bother with the unknown helix. We've got two unknown helixes. So this is just an example of what is here. I mean, we're not going to get any high level loot from the unknown helixes. I just want to see whether the other ones are got an abandoned bunker. So we're now moving into the other types of POIs. So this would be quite a good planet to actually loot across, actually. So you've got unknown helixes, abandoned bunkers. So we just see if we can get a couple more before we leave. The abandoned bunker would be quite nice. That's got quite a lot of good loot in it as well. Wow, there's loads of them on here. Wow. Abandoned assembly yard. That would be fun. Anyway, guys, like I said, I don't really want to spend too much time on that because I could probably do 5 or 6 parts on this planet alone. But we do need to move on. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go up and do the asteroid field, and then we'll go back to Epsilon 4 because that's going to be another dead planet as far as I know, and that will have an unfinished escape rocket on it. So we're just going to come up to here. We're going to choose. We've got an asteroid field there. There's a couple of asteroids. That's quite some distance out, but I think maybe we'll just go to the local one. Don't really want to burn up too much pentaxid, because all we're going to do is just zip into it, and that's it. So we've now got the next step with the Epsilon mission. So we got a little bit of Xerex opposition here. We've got iron, cobalt, titanium. Looks like there's a ship in here as well, which could be bad news. I mean, we could go into the asteroid field. There might be some water in there, but I don't think I'm going to bother. Let me just go back to here. Now, the dread planet here, this one over here. Oh no, it's the Pathfinder. Let's just see if I can hook up the dread sector there. Now, dread, as far as I know, that is the actual dead planet start, and there will be an unfinished rocket on that. Purgatory is the cryojet. I'm trying to think whether one of the moons of Purgatory might be worth a visit. I think I will, just out of curiosity. We're going to go to Purgatory Moon 1, I think. This is just purely curiosity, to be honest. I can't remember what's actually on the moons. The Purgatory, the planet itself, is like a... Oops. I mean, Purgatory planet itself is like a super version of a dead planet. The only difference is you don't get lots of resources on it. The resources are quite sparse, and the atmosphere is quite hostile as well. So it's a pretty tough start. The reason I don't actually... That's Purgatory. I thought I'd come to the Purgatory moon. Was that... Where's the moons then? There's Epsilon 7. I was under the impression that there's Epsilon 1. Ah, so maybe that's Purgatory itself. Where's the moons then? Got lots of wreckage here. Because when you start down on Purgatory, you've got to get up into space with a very simple SV to actually loot the wreckage. In fact, what I'll do is I'll just show the wreckage, seeing we don't seem to have a connection to the moon. Although technically the moons should be, maybe the moons are this way behind us. Nope. Okay. Let me just see if we can find some wreckage. But the wreckage is further away than the planet. Okay. We've got some heat signatures there as well. See if we turn around that way. All the wreckage is some distance away actually. Silicon asteroid over there. There's some stuff down this way. Ah, I think we might have found the moon. Moon? Yeah, Purgatory Moon 1. That's where I want to go, because I can't ever remember actually going and finding out what's actually on them. The wreckage itself, the wreckages that are available, I've just got general loot on them. There's nothing excessively good on it, but it's the key to surviving when you do start on Purgatory, because you start in the cryo chamber. You spend a lot of time running around, literally gathering the basic resources of survival, including oxygen, because as far as I can remember, the planet, you need to have a suit on. It's quite a tough start actually, but it's also like a lot of the really hard starts in this game. There's a very big element of luck. If you happen to be kind of go out and find the necessary resources from the get-go, then you're okay. If you're unlucky, well, you die. Yeah, we'll just go and check out the Purgatory Moon, just out of curiosity. So here we are, we're just breaking through the atmosphere. I'm not expecting great things, but sounds like we've come down over Xerex territory. I mean, we've got a little bit of pentaxid, magnesium, cobalt. Yeah, so like I said, there's not much on here, but what I am interested in is maybe I should use the short range radar. I'm looking possibly for crashed ships. Let me just pentaxid, magnesium. There's the drone base there. There's a heat signature down that way. So if we go that way, because really if you start on Purgatory and you want to build a capital vessel to travel onwards, you really do need to, I think it's just go to green so I can see. You really do need the crashed ships to be able to build what you need to survive. So just see if that is going to be a crash ship with a nice big thruster on it. No, that's just a funny little thing with symbols on it. Obviously not. Go away. Right, I'm just going to do a long range scan. Found a Xerex drone base. That's as useful as a chocolate teapot at the moment. No. Oh, that's a bit of a disappointment. I mean, there could be a crash ship into this area, but I'm not feeding it, to be honest. See what's... No, it looks like everything is... Okay, we might as well leave. There's not much point landing. I mean, there's plenty of resources on here, but not what I'm looking for. So I think what we're going to do now is move on to Epsilon 4, which, as far as I know, is a dead planet. And we should be able to... Well, we'll see what's there. Oh, wow, that's bright. Right, so there, need Epsilon 4, there it is. Target. And, oops, you need some food. Beat that, just to top up. And we'll just pick up Epsilon 4. And away we go. Right, a scan. Got this silicon, magnesium, pentaxid. Got a couple of moons, and we got Epsilon 4 right in front of us where we got to land. So just gonna head there. Right, here we are. We're breaking through the atmosphere again. As you completed your survey, you should report your findings to the UCH and Panther. Yep. What we got? Right, we just get the ship settled. Exploration shuttles, we got things. So of course what we're gonna have to do is find the unfinished escape rocket. Something that we do need to do. Again, it's of course what we do need to do is grab that. We've got some Epsilon survey report. So after surveying the sun, reach the other star system, you need a warper capable, you need to be plenty of fuel and oxygen. Yeah, it goes without saying. I can't look at our inventory just at the moment. Right, guys. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to fly across the surface, see if I can find the unfinished escape rocket. And anything else. We've got some exploration shuttles. There we are. It says the unfinished escape rocket is just over the other side of this mountain. So back again. I think this is going to be I think it's our third unfinished escape rocket. As I say, I'm really more interested in the fuel than anything else. But maybe it might be an opportunity to do a little bit of rebuilding. The only trouble is I will have to lift the plants up so that they don't die. So maybe that might be something to consider for the next part. Actually, wow, this has got two small rockets next to it. Wow. That's pretty useful. Bit of water as well, so I could deploy the water generator and that will allow us to get some water. Yeah, I think maybe I will do a little bit of rebuilding. Maybe it is time to put the what we call it on. The ship's kind of rolled over a little bit. Anyway, let me just come in here. So we've now got, if I go to the high value goods. See, we've now got all So we've now got all of these on board. It says here, speak to the lead researcher on the board of the UCH vessel, survey while all full survey reports are in your personal inventory. So we'll be doing that in the next part to complete the mission out and get the overall reward, because of course by handing these in we get something a little bit extra. We can probably don't need that. The poster we can just shove in there for the moment. Main storage, that we are getting a little bit there. Inputs, that's there as well. And I think we've been running around a little bit, so it's probably time to check our veggie plants and see if anything is actually grown. Got some plant protein, some mushrooms, some herbal leaves. As I say, to be able to work on the rear of the ship, maybe it's time to start maybe creating the nacelles, because I could do that down here without actually breaching the hull, because I could leave these armored windows in for decorative purposes. What do you think, guys? Do you think that's an option that we can do? What we'll do is just come in here. Certainly want the plant fibers. Get that. I think the spice would be ready and the mushrooms there. So just shove this in raw food. Just notice that actually if I go for high value, I have to turn our shields off though to be able to do this. And we've got a little bit of a space here. We can break this space up a bit. So if I go here, turn the shields off, put that up there. I think we've got one on each side now. What do you think, guys? Do you think it'd be worth reconfiguring the main thruster engines, putting them on the outside just to show you? Here we could build out. We'd have to move the ship away. I could build the nacelles on the back here, move these thrusters out, and that would then kind of open up an opportunity to start reworking the stern of the ship with review of the potential of actually putting on a hangar deck. Anyway, guys, this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. So any opinions, feel free to chuck it in the comments, and then we'll take it from there. But until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.